Hello everyone, and so glad you're here. So in this video, it is for Christian independent artists. If you don't know what's an independent artist, it's an unsigned by a label that are wondering, am I ready to share my songs? Am I ready to get things out? So, my name is Lydia, and my journey in Christian music is quite interesting because I was in a mission in a church in Sweden, and they already released some album years before and 2 years before I arrived, and now they were releasing a single, and they were like, Lydia, you have a master in marketing. Now it's your problem. I shouldn't say a problem. It's your new project to release it, and that's how I started the music in Christian music industry. It was just so fun. I managed to do it 5 times better in a month than the albums did in 2 years. So it was just so fun for me, and it started their friends and so on, and that's how I came here. So if you're here, I'm here in this video not to talk about me, but to answer how do you know when to release it. So what I've seen, people maybe going too fast or too slow. So that would be I divided it into 3 pointers for you guys. So first is financially, not in a sense that you should go all in, but what I mean, all in that like you remove your job, you get out of everything. This is really like you need to hear from God. Like let's be wise in what we're doing financially because it's going to cost you something. It's going to cost you financially to release. It's like when you start a startup. If I would tell you, yes, I'm starting a company, but I'm not planning to invest anything on it, and everyone I'm going to ask about are going to do it for free because I'm a startup. There's a line to ask people for free, but you're also going to get in a timeline for free. What I mean, it's going to take more time. It's might not going to be, as professional as you would like. So if you do it properly right. It doesn't mean that you need to have thousands of dollars, or maybe get ready. If you want to do it super professional and you don't have the money, raise the money. You have some crowdfunding platform, you can do that. If you want advice on how to do that we can make another video on that. But expect that it's going to cost you some stuff, and make it in a way that it's going to be high, and don't just pay for the music itself, for the production, for the mastering, for think that there's going to be maybe a music video, think that it's going to be music distribution that you're going to have to pay for, think so it's a big budgeting to think here. So make a budget and try to stay in the budget, but make research as a bigger one, as a bigger picture. But the reality here is you're going to have to pay and find a balance between professional and to keep the money in the kingdom. When it's people that are the same minded, they're going to keep it in the same alignment of what you're trying to do. But if you're trying, you bring everyone that has different idea. I remember the first startup I started was related to book. Just after a year, I mean, I was a founder. Just after a year, I was like, how did I ended up here? So be careful who you're partnering with, and what extent are you giving them freedom to change what you're doing, because it's really easy to change the essence. And in a sense, it's a bit like to the two next ones. The second one is spiritual. Because yeah, we're in a fight. We're Christians. We're here. Every song that has the name Jesus on it, every song that talks about sin, that talks about the freedom that we have in Jesus, will have resistance. So think also in a sense to think of it as a ministry. Maybe try to get prayer partners around you. Try to make sure that your pastor knows, that your church knows, that they support you, and how they can do that, that they can pray for you to make sure that you stay aligned when you do the music, when you release it, and after. What are you going to accept also as different partnership, different collaboration? What are you going? What are you not going? And the third one is emotional. So, emotional, this is a bit tricky maybe to discern because it's always like so much inside of us. But I can give you certain ideas. For instance, I lost my mom in 2022, and there's still certain events I'm not willing to talk about. So let's say I would have wrote a song about it. If I'm going in interviews, am I actually ready to talk about it? Am I actually ready to express, to explain how I have received it? Not so much. So maybe emotionally, I'm not ready to release that song. And I'm sure there are other songs because if you release a song, that has really a signification about grief, but you lower it down, people like me that are grieving cannot really relate because I don't know that's what you were writing for. You see what I mean? There's something when you really explain, and there's a reason why everything God is making you through different stuff. So if you lower it down, maybe spiritually, maybe emotionally, maybe financially because you're not paying for it, you're reducing what God has given you. And I think this is a pity. This is not a pointer, but it is something to be careful. So aim high. You're representing Jesus. Make the most. So, how do you know if you're ready? I think God will always tell you when it's time, but I think sometimes God has given you a gift and has made it so clear that it's like I'm picturing Jesus sitting like I'm waiting for you to make a move. and and we're kind of waiting for a bigger sign. And this is something one artist told me that her mom told her, um, go with what you have. And I tell you, it was kind of a really wise advice, because it takes years to build what you have. And you're gonna learn also. Obviously, emotionally, if you're not ready to talk about how you received the song, that's way too fast. That's maybe take another song instead. You're not gonna it's not probable that you're gonna start with 100 prayer warriors praying for you. You're gonna start maybe with two, with three, and it's gonna grow. So do not despise the small beginning. So, in summary, I'm encouraging you to take steps to start, but what does that mean exactly for you at what time? This is only between you and God. But I believe if God is giving you a song and a desire and a dream, you know, take step. And make sure, sometimes making step also mean being off for maybe 3 years and have a mentor speaking in your life about your character. Oh, I think that's going to be the fourth point. I was not meant to have a fourth or five because I think I said that 2 times. Your character. My pastor in Sweden always say that. A big character, a big character can hold a big gift. But a small character, let's say it's a small box like that, cannot hold a big gift. It's gonna stumble, it's gonna fall. You can imagine a big ball around this little character. So build your character. Let your pastor speak into your leaders. If they're telling you you're arrogant, be careful. Wonder, pray with God that He's gonna change. Maybe it's something. Also seek your motivation. There's a book, now I'm looking if I have it, but I don't. It's called Driven by Eternity by John Bevere. It really, for me, when I started the business, I was like, what is my motivation? Is it the money? Is it the fame? Some people, it's going to be also sometimes the opposite. Like I would call it the fake humility, just thinking that I'm no one. But it's not about us. It's not about me. It's about making Jesus seen. And the parable of the talent, to use all of our talents. So make a balance between making sure your character gets ready, but also we're always aiming and seeing Christ. So I hope this has blessed you. I hope this has guided you a bit. And I hope that you will stay here in this YouTube channel to watch more videos if you're ready to get more step and things and tricks to think as you're starting. So God bless you and hope to see you soon.